Um, South Africa is a movie. We live in a drama. It's a series. Every day you will be shocked by something new.
Now, in today's video, I have a very, very serious question for you. And I would really love for you to just comment down below and tell me your own personal opinion. Because this is a very interesting question. Both interesting and concerning at the same time. Now, if a child commits a crime, a minor commits a crime, who is supposed to be blamed? The child or the parent? Now that's the question. Now this comes after an incident that took place. A 12-year-old stole his mother's car without the mother noticing. And then that 12-year-old went on to hit a 14-year-old on a skateboard, and the 14-year-old lost his life. So a 12-year-old unalived a 14-year-old. Now the guardian, the parent of the 12-year-old, actually took the child to the police and handed him over to the police so that he can be arrested because he took another kid's life, you know. Now this issue has raised a lot of questions among South Africans to say, in a situation like this, who is to be blamed? The parent of the 12-year-old or the 12-year-old?
If a child commits a crime, who should be held responsible?
It's the child.
Why?
They must be held responsible for their actions.
And what do you think should happen? Should they go to jail, or should maybe they be punished in a different way?
They should be punished in a different way. I don't know how, but there has to be a way that they must get punished.
Ma'am, if a child commits a crime, who should be held responsible?
I think it is the child who should be held responsible, because parents do their part to train up a child, to tell the child this is bad, this is good. So it is the child who makes the decision to commit that crime. So the child has to be held responsible.
Ma'am, if a child commits a crime, who should be held responsible?
The mother.
Why the mother?
The mother, because I think she didn't bring him or her, didn't bring her up right.
Okay, so they weren't raised properly.
Yeah, so maybe sometimes to blame the mother is the child getting the influence from the people outside, the friends.
I really would like to hear your thoughts on this issue, because personally, I believe that a person who commits a crime should face the consequences. It doesn't matter whether that's a child, whether that's an adult, whether that's a disabled person, whether that's a crazy person. I don't care. If a person takes another person's life, that person should face the consequences of that. Because I really don't think it's fair for a parent to be blamed for the actions of a child. Actions that most likely he or she couldn't even prevent, because we know that children are very naughty. Children are very naughty. As a parent, you can try by all means to make sure that you are guarding your child so that he doesn't do strange and nasty things. But kids will always be kids. That 5 minutes you take going to the toilet is the same 5 minutes he took taking the car out of the garage and going to hit someone there on the street. Now tell me, in that situation, what could the parent do? There's nothing that the parent could have done. You get what I'm saying? Children are just naughty like that. And then I really don't think it's fair to blame the parent. Because parents are not superheroes. Parents are not perfect. Parents are not different types of humans. Parents are just people. You get what I'm saying? And I don't think it's logical to say a parent must be always watching the child. A parent must be always guarding the child. We all know that won't happen. Kids go out there to play on the streets, and parents are absent there. The things that they do there on the streets, if they end up killing each other there, then we must blame the parents who were at home. But then again, I understand those who say the parents should be blamed because the child is still a minor and they are your responsibility. So you should make sure that you are always involved in everything that they do. But I don't think that's realistic, man. I don't think that's realistic. Yes, the child is your responsibility, but you won't be able to cut the child 24/7. Some people work, they only come end of the month, or they come during the weekends, and maybe the child stays at home with his older sister or his older brother. And we all know that young people won't be just focusing on that child, guarding that child. No, the older brother will do his things, and the child will most likely get the opportunity to do whatever he wants. If there's a car in the yard and the brother maybe has went out to the shops, if it's a naughty child, he's going to take that car. And there's nothing that the brother could have done or the parent at work could have done. The kid took the car, went out, committed a crime. And then we will say the parent who was just at work at that time must be blamed. I don't think that's fair. I think the person who's supposed to face the consequences is the person who committed the crime. And I think there are laws in place for minors. I think there are institutions for minors, so that those people can pay for their consequences, even though they are kids. But then they must know that here, this is the world. And reality says, if you commit a crime, you must face the consequences. Because if we are going to allow the kid, okay, let's say we arrest the parent, we arrest the mother, and we let the kid continue with his life. Do you think that kid is going to grow up and regret what he did? He won't. Because he didn't face the consequences. And most likely, he will grow up to be a criminal. He will grow up to be that kind of kid who doesn't respect the justice system of South Africa, because he once committed a serious crime and nothing happened to him. So mentally, and especially a kid, our mentalities are shaped a lot when we are kids. So he's going to look at that whole situation and say, I killed another kid, but I didn't get arrested. That kid is most likely going to grow up and become a criminal. I'm telling you. So personally, my own opinion and my own stance on this thing is that the mother shouldn't be arrested. The person who should face the consequences is the person who committed the crime. It's as simple as that. But then tell me on the comment section down below, what do you think personally? Do you think the parent should be arrested or the kid? I would really love to hear your own thoughts and opinions. That's just what I had in this episode of The Spotlight. So if you enjoyed this video or you learned something new, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it. My name is Emmanuel and this is Mzansi Versity, the place where we transform lives through knowledge and information. Let's meet again on another video.